Yeah, she's here. She's here with us. Hello, Ellen, come. So we are waiting for you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hello, Ellen. Am I audible to you? Yeah, she's here. She's here with us. Hello, Ellen, come. So we are waiting for you. Thank you so much for joining us today. She could not listen to me. Hello, Ellen. Hello, Ellen.
Yeah, hello.
Am I audible to you? Yeah, she's here. She's here with us. Hello, Ellen, come.
Can you hear me?
So we are waiting for you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Yeah, you
joining
are
us
audible,
today.
Ellen.
She could not
Okay,
listen to me.
we are waiting for you. Just a couple of minutes we waiting for you. Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm sorry, I was struggling a bit with the Kathmandu.
We are waiting for you.
All right,
So much for joining us
audible,
today.
Ellen. Okay, we are waiting. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening to all the listeners and friends from across the
I'm
world.
sorry, I was
Myself, Raj Kodel, MD student at Nepal.
We are waiting for you. So much for joining us today.
We are really blessed today to have with us Associate Professor Dr. Ellen on education
Could you go to the next, please? This is, I would say, quite interesting. These graphs are from the International Telecommunication Union, and it's uploaded in 2020, quite recently. Not surprisingly, I would say, we see that the younger one, those categorized as youth, are far beyond the total average of internet users. The world, if to start with that, globally, half of the population tend to use internet, but the youth we see are up to almost 70%. So in all regions in the world, the youth are far above the elderly one when it comes to internet usage. And that is interesting. We have seen it when we have been working. You probably also realize that the younger one bypassed the seniors a lot, and it also causes some problems.
All littles are there.
Why they're deleted?
No, they're not deleted. They're inside.
Could you then take the next slide, please? Next slide, please. So we may say that the gender gap seems fairly obvious, and it is probably also a challenge for the academia, higher education institutions, realizing that the senior teachers, including me, may be lagging behind the young ones, so easily accessing the various tools. If we go to the broadband network, again, the gender gap is also fairly obvious.
Professor Ellen, you are muted. You are muted there. Please unmute.
Oh, sorry. So we see here again that the gender gap is obvious, specifically in the developing countries when it comes to the use of mobile broadband network. Please, next. Next, please. Oh, yeah. Okay, we have had that. The youth is far ahead of the elderly one when it comes to usage of the internet, which might be a challenge for us, the elderly one, in school teaching, in the schools, in the higher education institutions, throughout in the society. Next, please. Just pay attention to the broadband coverage at the very bottom there. The divide is obvious, and the developing countries are still penalized, specifically in the rural area. So the divide goes by gender, and it also goes by urban, rural geographical lines. Next, please. And these are also, again, how we can expect to see our students or the young ones, pupils, engaged in internet back home. Again, the urban areas are twice as highly utilizing and having access to internet. Some years back in Nepal, a student of ours taking online education, he actually took his motorbike from the hills down to the district education center, spent half an hour on his bike to get access to upload his assignments and download new reading materials. It just illustrates the challenge that many students will face, and also the motivation and the commitment to take higher degrees. So actually being able to reach out through online teaching, as we now all are practicing basically in the COVID period, has a great impact for the students in the more remote areas. Thank you. Next, please. And these two graphs shows us how now in the COVID situation, how internet has been used, and actually also the usage has increased a lot since we all, whether we are publicly employed or privately employed, we have to sit in our home offices and deal with our activities using internet, mobile connected, most of us. Thank you. Next, please. I just want to show this curve, which really shows the rapid improvement of penetration of the telecommunication and the mobile network in Nepal. I put that small little figure in the middle. In 2012, that was when our project started, which I will come briefly back to later on. So in 2013, where we see that there is a penetration of around maybe 50, 60%, there were highly innovative higher education institutions and employees who actually grasped the opportunity to think expanding on the use of ICTs. Although the access to mobile at that time was far, far less than we now see. We are above 100%. It's a number of SIM cards actually that this curve is showing. Next, please. So the opportunities and the strategies one need to apply to reach to an inclusive digital society, bringing in youth, children, women, disabled and indigenous people, are related to how the key actors in the society can act and react to merge these gaps. Politicians and strategies and institutional policies are crucial in order to have a direction for our work. But then we have to go out with awareness raising, reaching out through our institutional networks, through our district offices, nationally, locally, but also globally, in order to build capacity and raise awareness. We know that awareness about the online alternatives still needs to be promoted, as many aren't even aware of the opportunities that ICTs may give them. So the support to these various groups in different ways through community collaboration to remove the barriers and improve literacy skills, as we do know that that is another big barrier for people to actually go beyond using the phone as maybe communicating through Facebook and stuff like that, which is the key kind of way the young ones usually start using their phones. They have the phones, but they don't know how to use it to go out. And then we have to plan and implement for short-term case studies, scalable actions and activities to broaden out our efforts. Next, please. We talked about Nepal and the divide between developing and developed world, but this is actually taken from Washington Post quite recently. So in New Jersey, in US, about 90 to 100 students, pupils from remote areas are experience the same due to their socioeconomic conditions and situations now during the COVID period. So as we all know about SDGs and global challenges, we find them all over the world. Next, please. So again, the lack of ICT skills are the key barrier, actually, according to research, for people to participate in a meaningful digital society, going beyond just communication. We can. Oi.
Pushparaj sir, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, please, Ellen. A message was displayed there. Whether the battery low message was displayed. Whose battery is it?
Yeah, it's mine and it's resolved. The problem is resolved.
Okay, sir.
I think it is a problem with Professor Alan Khan.
Maybe she is no more here
Come first.
in the room. Perhaps she will join. Ellen had joined.
I'm so sorry. I have some problems here.
No, it's okay.
Okay, Dr. Ellen, take it easy.
Yeah. We talked about the connectivity between schools, institutions, at the community level, centers, whatever we might find, and then promote digital literacy for women and girls, being still at the bottom of the pyramid. In Africa region, they have had a lot of free access to NGOs run by women, and it has proven to be a very informal but very efficient way to bring female actors into the digital world. And informally, the skills are being shared with others. Again, these various policies and strategies are the baseline for these things. Different toolkits, NGOs, public and private institutions need to collaborate to see how they can broaden their catchment area to improve those gaps. Next, please. The mobile phone, the laptops, the e-learning approach are now being utilized in all the different educational levels for professional development, for managerial purposes, information gathering, sharing, please, curriculum development, research and testing, small-scale studies, broad, big data studies, communication, using different platforms, various application of technologies across sectors. And in this period where the SDGs are globally governing kind of indicators for development, we also know that the only skill that actually is being measured alongside the SDGs objectives are skills in ICTs. Showing how the ICTs and the technologies are impacting all these sectors as a cross-cutting issue to improve learning and innovation and technical new solutions to our challenges. Next, please. We cannot teach today as we taught yesterday. And John Dewey stated these words about 100 years ago. We know he was one of the internationally travelers in education, and he was in the Japanese society now exactly 100 years ago. Stuck by the big multicultural differences, but still bringing out his words on a democratic society as one pillar, and progressive and innovative pedagogies as the other pillar. I had once a student who who should quote Dewey to me, and he said, "Doing by Dewey." It's not that easy, but anyway, he has been one of the drivers of lots of globally recognized approaches. We'll go further. Next, please. So the e-learning or educational principles for a digital age can be summarized as being done in this book I'm referring to down there. Learning is a lifelong project, specifically now when ICTs are there to support us in a flexible way. We talk about formal learning, informal learning, and the learning is for work and it's learning at work. Ways of knowing and ways of doing. We need to understand practice, and that is how we apply theory in practice and use new evidences to generate new forms for practice and learning. And this connectivity across institutions, geographical and sectoral borders, create a borderless, mobile and flexible solution and opportunities within communities.
I'm sorry to disturb you. I hope in the next 5 minutes you will conclude your keynote. Thank you.
I'm sorry about these things. I'll do that. Please continue.
Yeah, you will have the next 5 minutes to conclude.
The next slide, please.
Okay.
So we have to bridge theory and practice. Knowledge are contextual and culturally constructed. New form for quality assurance beyond standardizations and fixed answers, and look into the epistemological issue, what counts as useful knowledge. Next, please. So the principles and the theories, what are relevant? How should these principles be applied? What solution will meet the users, the need of the society? And how does the design stand up for the demands? Next, please. So these are various theoretical approaches which looks into the key theories based upon associative knowledge, instructivist, constructivist, and situative. Please, next. These are the pillars where we started working in 2013, when we started the Quantic project and looked into how to build up e-learning at the universities, Durban and Kathmandu. So you see the three pillars. The issues were competence-based, professional development of teachers, and research and knowledge development. The other pillars are related to e-learning environment, lifelong learning based upon constructivist and problem-based learning. And the last would be to start with contextualized situated learning, reaching social justice, inclusiveness, and sustainable individual and societal development. Next, please. Could you just take them all down, please? Just take them all down. We started with a strategy where we involved all the participants at TU, those who had some engagement in this. And as we see here, people said dual delivery, is that the strategy? We start with small circles, it will grow, it will be bigger and bigger. It's like a stone dropped in water. I think we stop there. Go to next, please. The stone dropped in water. Next, please. The stone dropped in water I illustrated by how the innovations starts in a small group and broadens and reach out. So, of course, it was infrastructural development and skill competence, modularization and revision of the curriculum, short and long-term scopes and scales, as we see now, scaling up, and the 21st century skills was basis for where we started. The challenges are flexibility, which will be discussed probably later on today. Next, please. These are the issues that we were focusing on to reach to inclusive and the right-based approach. And I think we go further. Just take down all the... Next, please. So I'll just focus on the first excerpt. This is a student. This is from 2019. We follow up with research. And what one of the students said, if you are in the process, like getting online opportunities, willing to explore new things, willing to transform, you have to act accordingly. And these students of ours over years have had huge impacts on the development of ICT competence and usage in their schools and communities in the Nepalese society. Next, please. So this is based upon Engelström. We see how not working, it's like you don't know exactly how things are being expounded. It's formal and situated and contextual application of an innovation. On the top two corners, we see the two universities starting out. It leads to the establishment of open distance education. It goes to the Nepal Open University. We have the local public schools. We have parents and communities. And there is never kind of a stop, since we don't know where these runaway objects are going. Next, please. I just want to say that the university leadership, they have to meet the demands for education and innovation. It has to be addressed in their environment, offered online courses, and utilizing the data through online learning management systems as a critical source and driver for the future development. Next, please. I'll go to the next one. Please, because the universities, they have to work with local, national, and international institutions. For instance, in the industrial and university collaboration have proven to create centers of excellence and innovation in so many different aspects. The universities have their skills, they are highly educated, they can work with practitioners.
Can you conclude within a couple of minutes?
I will do that in a couple of minutes. Just so these are issues that are one of the challenges. Next, please. We should also be critical, looking into massive online courses, thinking about who are the designers, who are the technicians, who controls the knowledge. That is also a way for the universities to intervene in the global discussion on what knowledge counts. Next, please. The critical issues about MOOCs has already been pointed out, and one need to inhibit the emergence of local academic culture as allow the national universities to focus on using their own pedagogical norms and strategies, not being overruled by international courses due to commodity reasons. Next, please. Issues that we really still have to work with is how we use the data. The public data, personal data, big aggregated data, and how they are processed. The use of it is created by those in charge of the data, the narratives that are built up, and the consequences of their findings will have big impacts on those impacted by them. We have to bring networks between the technicians and technocrats, developers and users, so that we ensure that what we get is what we need in order to improve practice at all levels. Next, please. The EMES, just to take that as an example, the current system usually for EMES is schools as deliverers, institutions as deliverers, and the use of the data seemed to be a very top-down managerial issue. One should rather turn this, at least also turn it the other way around, so that the data can be used to create knowledge about, for instance, gender equality, equity, inclusion, and quality of education at school level. Now, thank you. Thank you. Next slide, please. I think I've used my time. I'm sorry I had some problems here, but I just want to say that the universities and the higher education institutions, they do have the responsibility and the opportunity and the competence to create hubs, centers for excellence, working across nations with various actors, private, public, and then take the lead towards individual as well as societal development. The higher educations, they can make a change. And I just want to wish you the very best. I'm sorry I overspent my time. Thank you so much.
Sir, you are muted. Pushparaj sir, you are muted. Please unmute your mic.
I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Ellen, for your insightful keynote speech. It was indeed very relevant in the present situation. Moreover, educational technologies always have relevance in education. Thank you once again. We have already crossed the set time limit. So I'm not, although there are a couple of questions in the chat box, I'm not taking any one. Thank you. We can proceed with the next session. Thank you, Jivan sir.
Thank you. Oh.
Our session.
Everyone, please mute your mic.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome all the distinguished guests, all the dignitaries, the organizers, and I'm going to start the next session, parallel session, and we have three different presenters over here from NOU. They are Bhumiraj Tiwari sir, and Dilip Ghimire sir, and Hiraman Tamang sir. So I would like to ask whether Bhumiraj sir, are you there, sir?
Yeah, I'm ready here.
Okay, sir. Dilip Ghimire sir. Dilip sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am here.
Okay, welcome, sir. And Hiraman Tamang sir. Hiraman sir.
Yes, I'm here, sir.
Okay, sir. Then, without any delay, I would like to begin this session, this parallel session. And I would like to introduce first Bhumiraj Tiwari sir.
Well, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Well, I would like to request to give the access of screen share.
So, how can...
Whose presentation is now?
Is Bhumiraj Tiwari sir's presentation, sir.
Can go next. Pushparaj, okay, Pushparaj sir is there. You may go next. Go
Okay,
second.
sir. Isme Krishna Prasad Bhusal, MPhil scholar of NOU, and my colleague, Mr. Krishna Karki, due to his certain, urgent work, he is joining very soon. So for certain time, I will be conducting the role of moderator. And I would like to request the technical team to help me to assist Bhumiraj Tiwari sir for presenting his slides.
Well, thank you so much. I think now I am able.
The previous slide is still on the screen, and
I think Bhumiraj sir,
okay,
you
Bhumiraj
can
sir, yes, please.
share your screen.
Please, the floor is yours.
Now I am going on, sir. Well, am I visible and audible?
Yes, sir. It's very clear.
Well, thank you so much, Krishna sir, for having me in this great platform here. And I'm equally thankful to the organizer for providing me such a golden opportunity to present my paper here among the different scholars from various countries. So it's my privilege to present my paper here. And today I'm going to present my paper entitled Shifting from the Physical Classroom to Online Learning in COVID-19 Pandemic, and Analysis of Secondary Teachers and Students' Experience. So we all know that the globe was, let's say, badly hit by the COVID crisis, and we Nepalese also could not be away from that, and we also got badly suffered. And in the same context, from March 2020, we faced lockdown, and all the schools and universities were closed for uncertain time. And after the closure of schools, there was a chaotic situation how to run educational activities ahead. And in the same context, some private schools, basically from the urban areas, have attempted to start their online classes by using various online platforms and tools for the continuation of their academic activities. However, some condition of the private schools, even government school in urban area, was still under the, let's say, uncertainty. At the same time, a question arose in my mind: why not to study the experiences of teachers as well as students, how they are experiencing ICT use, how are they, let's say, taking and running their online classes, with the question which triggered in my mind, and I started my research paper. So basically, as I started my research paper, I thought of doing a qualitative research. So I selected the participants both from the rural as well as urban secondary school, and in the selection of schools also, I visited different schools. I consulted to the teachers and principals there, and to get the realistic view of these schools, I thought of scheduling interview with the school principals as well as teachers. So I informed all the all the participating schools as well as principal, and I got consent from them officially. After I got consent, I conducted interviews, semi-structured online interviews with 5 principals as well as 5 secondary teachers. And while conducting interview, I observed 30 online classes also, which were different in terms of subject, in terms of schools and teachers. So I collected my data through both interviews as well as, let's say, class observation. And after the collection of data, these all data received from there were gathered and analyzed thematically. And I developed all the data into 3 major themes of my resource finding. So among many findings of my resource, one of the major finding was that it helped. It means the lockdown, or let's say COVID crisis, even it was difficult in other day-to-day livelihood aspect, but it was developed as an opportunity for the teachers' ICT use competency. Because in the observation as well as in the interview with the teachers, they revealed that actually before COVID-19 crisis, the teachers had very limited ICT literacy, as well as, let's say, they didn't have any practice of using ICT tools as well. So it made them, it forced them, it dragged them to the use of ICT tools, and they gradually, let's say, sharpened their knowledge. And finally, it was found that it was a major, let's say, opportunity to the teachers to increase their ICT competency. And at the same time, it was found that the teachers not only learned to use ICT tools and devices, but also they learned how to, let's say, blend the content um, uh, with the technology. And after blending those all teaching resources or materials, they could easily, let's say, deliver lessons, and they could digitalize their text as well. And majority of the participants had experience of using similar sort of teaching tools such as Zoom. Microsoft Teams was commonly used by the participants. It was revealed through their observation as well as interview. And very contrastingly, it was found that in the urban private schools, the level of teachers' competency was found very positive. It was highly developed, let's say, so they were able to handle their online classes in better ways. But in contrast to the rural schools, some of the schools were found that they had they had attempted to continue their online classes, but because of the technological difficulty, or because of the, let's say, lack of ICT infrastructure in their schools as well as at their home, they were unable to run their online classes. Even from the research, it was found that the use of mobile data was also attempted by some schools as well as some teachers. However, it was very expensive as well as unreliable in terms of its network. So similarly, my research found another thing here as a major finding, that was the strategies used by the teachers as well as the schools for the learning of students during COVID-19 pandemic. So some schools were found that they were using some innovative and newer learning apps, and it was found that the interest of students was increased to use easier learning apps, or let's say newer learning apps, which was not in their practice before. So innovative ICT tools was found helpful to enhance the skills of teaching as well as learning in both the teachers and the students. And another major thing which has indicated, which my research has indicated, is the blend of technology in teaching, such as inclusion of audio-visual tools was found helpful for the student-centered learning. And many students reported that they learned easily while integrating those audiovisual tools or audiovisual aids in their classes. Uh, and in terms of teachers also, it was seen that some of the teachers who were a bit less competent or who were not able to handle ICT tools, they were focusing simply on preparing the PowerPoint slides and let's say delivering their lessons in the method of screen and share, which was very similar to the conventional chalk and tape method which the teachers used to practice in their physical classes. However, while adopting this chalk and screen method, it was found that the participants in the classes were less. So from this let's say observation, it could be concluded that when there is more interactive classroom or when there is more techno blended or integrated classroom, at the moment we can attract the students towards online learning, and that is one of the strategy to be adopted by the schools as well as teachers. And in the course of during the course of interview, some of the teachers were found very much frustrated as well, because they were willing to deliver something digitally, they were willing to deliver their lessons from distance. However, they were complaining that they didn't get proper support from the schools and even parents and students. So it was becoming difficult to them, and some teachers revealed that they didn't have their internet access even at their own home, and because of that also they were unable to, let's say, run the classes virtually. And another finding which was found in my research was classroom management, and it was found one of the major challenge of online teaching, because almost majority of the participants or teachers agreed that they could not manage their online classes as per their wish, because there was no physical connection between teachers and students. So many of the students were feeling more freedom, so that they could not be controlled by the teachers virtually. And it was reported that many of the students were found busy on video games, annotating the screen, chatting with their friends, even during their online classes. So, getting the attraction of the students or getting the attention of the student to the online classes was one of the major barrier for the teachers, which was observed even in the online classes as well, and it was observed even from the interviews of the teachers as well. So not only that, majority of the students who were taking classes in online were not wishing to display themselves on the screen. They,
Excuse
they
me,
are-
Bhumiraj sir.
yes, sir, please.
You have, I think, the time limit is exceeded because we were already late by 5 minutes.
Okay.
It means because
So
of
I'm-
the
I'm-
previous session,
Sir.
I hope you will conclude in
Fine.
time.
Thank you,
Okay?
sir.
Thank you, sir.
So these were some, let's say, difficulties, which and some even students were found playing music, creating sound, and coming into the class in the disguised name or renaming themselves was the another classroom management difficulty. So now, to conclude my report, this paper reported both opportunities as well as challenges of online teaching. So, urban private schools were found, let's say, more successful to handle the online classes, though they didn't have prior experience of managing online classes. Though they did the things by learning within a short period, they seem successful in handling classes. And from the perspective of students, the online classes were found much safer as well as easier during the pandemic situation, where it is very difficult to go outside because of the COVID crisis. But in the rural part, we could easily feel some technological problems which were barriers for the management of online classes, such as unreliable internet, electricity issue, and lack of technological devices. So shifting from conventional physical classes to online mode was useful for the teachers from urban to increase their ICT competency and sharpen their existing knowledge. So lack of digital teaching content was experienced by the teachers and suggested to develop more systematic and scientific way. Furthermore, it is suggested that minimum each school should manage basic ICT infrastructure as well as reliable internet access for the better implication. And teachers training is realized as a necessary or mandatory thing for online teaching, because till now majority of the teachers were habituated of taking classes only physically. So development of collaboration among the students and introducing interactive and easier learning platform can help in the learning. So from my research I have came to the point that the future studies may investigate the potential of online and distance education in rural Nepal with more research and interventions. Thank you very much, all of you, for listening to me, for watching to me. And if you have any queries, please, you are welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bhumira sir, for your wonderful presentation. So we can see some questions over here in the chat box.
Okay.
So, and to the next side, we are exceeded by time. So anyway, I would like to ask Bhumira sir to answer one of the questions, a representative question from Dr. Ed Bhallo. So he has asked the question like this. So is it reasonable to conclude that money and access is equal to success and long-term impact, and that poor systems are doomed to remain behind, thus relating poor students to an inferior education?
Okay.
Bhumira sir, you can consult your chat box as well.
For your question. However, I would like to read the question from chat box myself so that I could answer easily here. Well, exactly whatever Dr. Balu has stated there, money and access both are essential in the context of Nepal, because of the poverty. Majority of the parents are unable to get broadband connectivity at their home, so they are relying on mobile data, which is not reliable here even. So exactly, money also values here, and monetary access may create, let's say, networking access, so that it can help on students education, basically the poor students who don't have those infrastructures, or let's say broadband connectivity at their home and gadgets or devices. That's why yeah, you are right, I agree with you that money and access is both of them are equally inevitable for the success of online classes in Nepal. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhumira sir. And I would like to remind you that you have got questions from Bhim Prasad sir and Yuvraj Subedi sir. So the questions are on chat box, and I hope you will help to answer these questions in the chat box as well. So
Fine.
equally, thank you sir. Thank you, Bhumira sir, and thank you all the distinguished dignitaries who are here on the panel. Side by side, next to Bhumira sir, I would like to invite Dilip Ghimire sir to present his paper. So I would like to request Dilip Ghimire sir to introduce himself and present his paper. Up to you,
Sir,
Dilip
sir,
Ghimire
am I audible?
Yes,
Am I
sir,
audible?
you are clearly audible and visible as well, sir.
Yeah.
So
Is
welcome,
my
sir.
slide visible, Kishan sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, please.
Okay, thank
Please
you.
proceed on,
Thank
sir.
you, Kishan sir, providing me this opportunity, and I would like to thank the Star Conference for providing me this opportunity for you. Respected Dr. Valu, respected Lakshamba sir, Kanal sir, and all the distinguished members present here. Uh, Thank you for providing me this opportunity and listening to me. Here I would like to present on the behavior study of the children. Uh, this that is grown by the single mother. It is the phenomenological study. I am Dilip Gimiri, studying in the third semester MPhil at UNOU, Department of Social Science and Education. I would like to proceed. Yeah, these are the overviews of my presentation. There are several things we'll discuss about this a little bit there. Okay, what is the context of my study? You know that my topics is the behavior study of the children raised by the single mother, and I would like to explore the study, and what are their things that is children generally learn from their society, where they grow, from their environment, and the uh, the behavior of the students depends upon the behavior of their environment, which directly influences them. And then the parents and teachers, students, their peers, all their motivation has the positive effect on the behavior of the students. And according to the UNESCO, society always try to correct the bad behavior. That means to convert the bad behavior into the good behavior. And in case of dual parenting household, the uh, household things are collaboratively decided by both the parents. But when we come to the single parent family, the parent have to discuss about the household things with the children. Then there are several types of student behavior found in the literature. Here in this study, I studied about three types of behavior given at the last: assertive, aggressive, and non-assertive, as described by Alberti and Emmons. But we could find a lot of other types of behaviors, like as Thelen described according to the study done by the teachers: good, indifferent, bad, and lost souls. Or there are 10 students types, as by Ku et al. And Wu and McMurray also define the different types of students as well. And what is the theory of my study? I mostly rely on the behavior study as described by Alberti and Emmons. And there are three types of student behavior according to Alberti and Emmons. They are assertive, aggressive, and submissive. What is assertive behavior? Yeah, the assertive behavior are those behavior in which the persons express their feelings fairly and comfortably. That means they can express when they have to express. They can use their rights. They can use their rights, but they do not violate their rights while using the others' rights. And that is, they do not worry in the human relation. They can talk wherever they go. That is the assertive behavior. And when we go to the aggressive behavior is a little bit suppressive type. They try to suppress others. They try to uh, hurt others, and they also get hurt when they get the behavior not of their choice. Although those behavior are good to them, they feel hurt, and they feel broken, humiliated, and also they may be defensive as well as violence for those behavior. And the next is submissive people. Submissive people, when we can call it as the non-assertive as well. And non-assertive are the introvert peoples. They cannot share their thoughts. They do not. They cannot contribute to the idea formation. They do not take the lead. They go along with the other, but they feel less respect from others. They cannot express what they want to. And in most of the cases, they try to reduce stress by convincing themselves that they cannot take the lead. This is my conceptual framework. That is, I would like to study the students' behavior according to their mothers. The mother should be the single mother, their socio-economic status and education, and the behavior are assertive, submissive, and aggressive. And the student behavior uh, in response to the peers and teachers. That means I'll take the interview with the peers, teachers, and students, and what the school faced the challenge from that, the behavior of the students. Now, what are the methodology and design? That is the here we can see that my study is I would like to explore the perception of the students. That's why it is the qualitative study, and it seeks the in-depth examination of the human beings in their natural environment, in their own context. The research followed the subjectivist epistemology, relativist ontology, because in the knowledge is not everywhere same in this case, and the naturalist methodology, and my research design is the phenomenology, as I want to perceive the phenomena, what they, what is their feeling, what is their perceptions about being the single mother and about their behavior. The next is data collection. How I collected the data. The data collection was done by sampling, that is purposive sampling, because I need the particular type of students, that is the students who are grown by the single mother. That's why I use the purposive sampling. I went to the schools and talked to the administration and get the data, and from that I got two male students and one female students for this phenomenological students, and the research site was students house, teachers house, because due to the this COVID pandemic we cannot go to the school, the as the school is not physically open for the students and teachers. And as I am doing qualitative research, I use the semi-structured interview, and which allow the me as well as the participants the greater freedom for that. And as quoted by the sideman, I interview because I the, I am interested in storytelling. I am interested in stories. That means I want to take the stories from the students, from their peers, from their teachers. The next is data analysis. The data analysis is carried out according to Creswell and Sterberg. That is, I use the coding, categorizing, and analysis of the data. Uh, I use the coding, categorizing. Yeah. Now, in that case, what I did, I took the record of the data. I scrutinized the data by open coding process. For that, the interviews were audio tape. The field notes were also taken during interviews. The audio tape and field notes were
Dilip
loaded
sir,
in the Atlas
excuse
TI
me,
software.
Dilip sir,
Yeah.
the time you have got 5 minutes
Okay.
time
Sure,
to
Krishna sir.
conclude,
I'll
sir.
conclude within that.
Thank you, sir. Please.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay. Each for this, the interview tapes were listened many times uh, the, for the study, and then each file of the audio tapes and field notes were coded. The codes were converted into categories, then families, then networks were created. Similarly, quotations were also identified. Uh, the codes were converted into categories using Alberti and Emmons. Uh, as you can see, there are a lot of data. There are 10 sender behaviors and 7 receiver behavior. With this, I measured the codes there, and then uh, to understand the nature of potential themes and meaning of participants' experiences, and draw the essence. I want to draw the essence of the experiences from the codes, family and network. And I find two major dimensions of the behavior, that is aggressive and submissive. Aggressive and submissive, that we can see that in case of male students, it was found that mostly they are aggressive and females are submissive in those cases. These are the different categories in which I coded. I took the code from the interviews. And the next is ethical consideration. Here in qualitative research, we have to go through the ethical consideration. The first one is I took the informed consent both from the students, parents, as well as from the school as well, from the school administration. There is the anonymity of the students, so that pseudonyms were used while describing them, and every effort was done to stay realistic. As it is qualitative research, I want to be realistic. My perception should not go there. The participant accounts of their experience, the result and findings, that is in center behavior to respondents beliefs on oneself, that is as according to uh, uh, these tables, I concluded that I found the result that beliefs on oneself, that is expressive, consider other feelings, feels of doing good to others as well, but they try to hurt others also, whereas other students is non-expressive in that case. And in behavior receiving, both are self-enhancing as well as expressive. And what I find finally, when I go to the conclusion, what I find that the male students are generally aggressive and female students raised by single mother are submissive in that nature. And I'd like to tell that when I go through the literature also, that was found that the aggressive and submissive nature of the male and female are a little bit different. That was found in the literature also. When looking at the from the feministic perspective, males are given more opportunity to be aggressive than female also when they go to the games or so like. These are the references. Thank you Kishan sir.
Uh, Thank you very much, Dilip Gimire sir, for wonderful presentation. And I can see the chat box there is no questions, I think. So I would like to request the participants and the other invitees to put some queries if you have any regarding the paper presentation of Dilip Gimire sir's ideas. So thanking Dilip Gimire sir. So I would like to proceed to the next presenter for the forum for 2020
Vishal sir.
conference. Yes sir, please. Krishna
Vishal
Kargi
sir,
sir is over
I
here.
have just arrived.
Oh, welcome Krishna Kargi sir.
Okay.
Actually, let me introduce Krishna Kargi sir. Krishna
Okay,
Kargi
sir.
sir is also one of the moderator of this session, parallel session. But due to some reason, he was busy. So, Krishna Kargi sir, I would like to inform you that I'm going to invite Hiraman Tamang sir for the next presentation. So,
Okay.
Hiraman Tamang sir is from Sankhwa Sabha district, and he is an MPhil scholar at NOU. So he has, there is some problem in reading all these things. So Nepal.
So,
He has done
Vishal
MA
sir,
in
what about
English
Edinger is one of the teacher trainer.
Yes,
Teacher
but-
trainer, and he has interest on EECR, that very teacher trainer center which focuses on teacher training, junior level teacher trainer, especially the child psychology. So he's, I think somehow he's linked to this institution, as well as he's a scholar of our NOU and one of
Yes,
the
sir.
students of MPhil this winter session 2076.
Yes,
So-
sir. So I would like to
Okay.
request our next
Hiraman, sir.
presenter, Hiraman Tamang sir, to proceed ahead. Hiraman sir, the floor is yours now.
Sir, namaskar. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You are audible, and your slides are also visible, sir.
Okay,
It's
thank
clear.
you. Thank
Please
you. Thank
go
you,
on.
Krishna, sir. Both Krishna, sir. Krishna Bhushal, Soren, Krishna Karki, sir. Thank you very much for having me in this session. So I would like to thank NOU, the organizer, for organizing this conference and giving me opportunity to present my research paper. So I work in ECEC as a teacher trainer and school consultant, and I'm lecturer at Sinas College, Lalitpur. Okay, now I move forward. So this is the overview of my presentation. So background, research questions, objective of the research, methodology. Likewise, I will present my this paper. So here are two pictures. Before the lockdown or COVID-19 pandemic, I observed that most of the teachers or junior level teachers or basic school teachers, they were inferior, and then they used to put or keep their mobiles like this in a locker inside their office room. So school administration was strict, very much strict in this regard. So basic school teachers, they were unable to unable to receive their mobile phone in their office time. So this was the scenario. Then when COVID-19 hit the world, Nepal also I cannot remain untouched. So this is the effect, or this is the impact of COVID-19. So majority of schools and universities have been suspended, and then 1.5 billion children and youth, which is the 87% of the population of students, were badly affected. In Nepal, there are many ICT policies, ICT master plan, and education policies. These policies are less practical. These policies are vague, very much vague, and then there is limited funding. This is the scenario. And then, on the other hand, before the COVID-19, government and private educational institutions up to class 12, they banned the cell phones inside the classroom to the students and teachers, especially students. Sorry. And then a national framework and curriculum, there is the nominal implementation. So, however, such kind of scenario in Nepal, COVID-19 forced the schools and universities to start the online education. And then having that kind of scenario, and then when I shared the my observation, the condition of teachers, then some of questions arise. So I formulated these questions with the supervision of my research guru, Dr. Karnarana. So this is my first question, and then this is my second question. So this is my purpose of the study. So to investigate and report the urban basic schools, strategies of managing online classes, and teachers' virtual teaching experiences during COVID-19. So I investigated and I reported in this thing. So methodology. This research is based on qualitative interpretive design. This is qualitative study. And then I selected the participant purposively. So this is purposive sampling. And then I interviewed and observed 17 basic school teachers classes, and I interviewed them. All the schools or teachers were from 4 districts, and then these are the things. Okay, data collection procedure. I collected the data through class observation and semi-structure interview, and then documentary analysis also I had done. And then these findings or data have been interpreted through the lens of interpretive phenomenological analysis, IPA. Okay, findings. These are my findings. So collaboration. So collaboration between parents, teachers, and school administration is the key to start the online classes. So which school have a good collaboration between these key stakeholders, they could run their classes smoothly. So collaboration, this is the key finding. And then another one is parents' involvement and support. So this is also very important finding. This is also very important strategy to manage the online classes in COVID-19, because without parents' involvement and support, it's not possible. It's not possible to organize or to start the online classes in lower level basic school students. So parents have to support them. Parents have to handle all the ICT tools, and then support in their homeworks, and support in their learning. So this is the thing. And another one is online pedagogical and ICT training. So these are also very important thing. So without online pedagogical training and ICT training, teachers were not able to start the online classes smoothly. So which schools they provided the training to the teachers. So those teachers they were capable to run the online classes. Incorporate counseling. So this counseling, or this is like mentoring. So this is also very important, because most of the teachers were they had their own problem. They had their own stress because of low paid, unpaid, and then their own family problems. And then on the other hand, there is the fear of COVID-19. So such kind of because of the such things, teachers were under stress. So schools, basic schools, school administration provided them counseling sessions. Then the teachers they get ready for the online classes. And on the other hand, teachers also they counseled the students. So individually they care the students. They ask their problems. They address their issues. And then teachers they didn't focus only academic learning. They did many extracurricular activities like action songs, physical exercise, warm-up activities. Some of the schools they did yoga. They get engaged the young children in yoga. So these are the things. And then stress management and time management training. So some of the schools organized such trainings for the teachers. This is also very important aspect. So support, management support on human resource. So management helped provided them the enough human resource to run the online classes. Okay. So here are some of participants' views. and then some of participants, they attended ECEC, teacher training and other webinars. They shared from their friends' experiences. They learned from their friends' experiences. And then I had talking about the management support on human resource. So Ritu, she is sharing. We have 3 classes, 3 teachers in each class. So this is also a very important thing. Now, another one is Kripa. She said, without parent support, now online class wouldn't be possible. So these are the participants' views. Okay, some of challenges have been found here. So these are the things: poor ICT infrastructure. This is the major challenge, major barrier of this study. So limited. This study found the challenges: limited ICT tools, and then frequent power cut, weak internet bandwidth, use of mobile phone, blurry, shaky voice, declining of students. So such kind of problems were there. And then teachers had, and teachers and then management, parents, they had the limited ICT knowledge and skills, their experiences. They had no, teachers had no online teaching experiences. And then majority of students were excluded from online classes. Okay, parents were, they were not afford the ICT tools and the and then expensive internet facilities because of their financial condition. And then because of small screen mobile phone, teachers and students had physical complications like headache, eyes problem, and then back pain, such kind of problems they had. On the other hand,
Raman sir,
yes sir. Okay.
You do have 5 minutes time.
Okay,
So
thank you.
I would like to request you to conclude your presentation.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you,
please
Krishna
proceed.
sir. Okay, I will try. Government policies, these policies are contradictory because government policies, it says that ICT education or distance learning, this is for the equitable education for all. But because of ICT education or online education or distance learning, majority of students have been excluded. Sorry. Okay, I'm in conclusion. So this study, it gives the strategies for managing online classes. This study gives the practical ideas to manage online classes. And then this is also a major finding that students, they develop their skills, their self-learning habit. Some of the students, basic school students, they reduced their cartoon watching habit, and then they started was the educational videos. Okay, this story suggests that so all the stakeholders need to work in collaboration, and then they allocate more budget on infrastructure, ICT education, and then parenting education, and then to use the available resources effectively. On the other hand, this is also very important. So educational policies or ICT policies, such kind of policies needs to be formed specifically and then implement accordingly. Okay. So the findings or the strategies of this paper, or findings of this paper, it can be replicated in a similar context to start the online classes. And then we can later on we can study the rural schools practice of online teaching, because this study is basically based on urban schools only. Okay, so many stakeholders can be taken as participants, like students, parents, school administration, member of school management committee, and government officials. Okay, in future, large scale research can be done. So thank you very much. So if you have any queries, you can ask, or if you have any suggestions or feedbacks, you can drop in this mail or orally or in chat box. You are welcome.
Okay, thank you, Hiraman Tamang sir, for your wonderful presentation. Very nice presentation, lucid presentation. So we have got some questions, queries in the chat box. So Dr. Ed Vallo has asked a question: how is urban basic schools defined in Nepal in terms of characteristics, size, location, and enrollment patterns?
Okay, shall I start, sir?
Yes, sir.
In Nepal, this is basically it is categorized, so it is defined location, in terms of location.
Location.
Yeah, city areas,
Yes,
schools. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
And
Thank
the next question from Bhim Prasad Acharya sir: what kind of teaching strategies are explored by teachers regarding to using ICT or virtual tools and manage the classrooms from diversified representation?
Okay, Bhim sir.
Teaching strategies.
Yeah, teaching strategies. Thank you very much. So, teachers, they didn't focus only on academic learning. So teachers, they did extracurricular activities. They incorporated music, songs, and then action songs, warm-up PE games, and then they incorporated that counseling in their teaching. So these are the things, and then they consulted with their parents. They worked with parents in a collaboration.
Anyway, thank you, Hiraman Tamang sir, and I would like to. So this is the end of, I think, session, this parallel session, and we have incorporated 3 different presenters from NOU. I think they are the scholars from NOU. Mr. Bhumiraj Tiwari sir, Dilip Ghimere sir, and Hiraman Tamang sir. And for next, I would like to ask my colleague Krishna Karki sir to put some words and conclude this session. I think after this we will have the overall session, and we will be concluding all these things. Krishna sir, Karki sir, Krishna Karki sir. So I think he is busy somewhere. So thank you, Hiraman sir. Thank you, all the dignitaries and all scholars who actually put their interest and participated in this forum of parallel session. Excuse me, Dr. Edward Balu, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Edward Valo, yes.
Edward Balu. After this, we'll have a wrap-up session. And I would like to disappear from this forum. Thanking you all.
Hello, Dr. Valo. Hello.
Hear me? Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah,
yeah.
So,
Okay.
Dr. Valo, today we are in the wrap-up session 1. That's why I would like to request you. Yeah, I would like to request you, Dr. Rana and Dr. Kanal, to wrap up the session of today.
Oh, okay. Is Dr. Rana and Dr. Kanal available? I don't see them.
Hello, Jivan sir. Yeah, Dr. Kanal is available. Dr. Rana.
Okay.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yeah, we are here. We are here, and you are wrapping the session now.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do we want all three of us to go? Why don't you?
Yeah, he's there.
First, Dr. Kanal, since you're the convener, why don't you go first with your comments? Then we'll have Dr. Rana and his comments, and I'll wrap up on the last piece because the three of us are supposed to do it. So, Dr. Kanal, we'll start with you first. Any comments that you have, then Dr. Rana, any comments that you have, and then I'll wrap up on the last piece. So, Dr. Kanal, you're first as the convener of the conference. Can you hear me? Dr. Kanal is mute.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so Dr. Kanal, why don't you begin the first as the convener, Dr. Rana as the program chair, and I'll bring it up and I'll close it out. How's that?
Okay.
You're
Sorry,
first. Okay. Oh, what is that?
Okay. Corner, sir. Okay, just, yeah. Dr. Karna is speaking. Karna, sir, please.
Okay, who's talking? Who's first? Dr. Kanal?
Yes.
Okay, why don't you start first? You're the program convener. So what are your concluding comments?
It's my turn?
It's your turn.
Okay. Thank you so much. Our MPhil scholars, even they are in the different field, different professional field, and they have a very huge experiences also. They have proved that, yeah, they are capable for the globalization, for the internationalization, for the international education, and to host the programs, to conduct the programs. Thank you so much. The first thank you will goes to our MPhil scholars. They work very hard, and Edu sir and Atmaram sir, I think they spent lots of sleepless night, I think so. As well as Balu, you have also spent so many sleepless sleepless nights. So thank you so much. Our program is, I think, first day and second day, so successfully completed. This is successfully completed, and we are very happy that our international guests, delegates, panelists, and keynote speakers, as Dr. Balu said early in the morning, they hardly appreciate your place or your role as a moderator. So we are very grateful for them also, and we have already 2 days we have completed, and next few days 2 days is coming there. So obviously the 2 days will also go very well. I'm very confident that. And when program kick off, before program is starting the program, we had a very it's a very hard tension to us. We had a tension to us, but when programs kick off, our MPhil scholars, moderators, they have taken the role very seriously. Now that's why we enjoyed also. Today's also we enjoyed. We run down another room, this room, we see the different rooms. So we are feeling very comfortable, and we felt very comfortable. And Dr. Balu, thank you so much, because it's all your leadership. So we have learned so many things from you. We learned how to walk properly, or how to walk hardly. We have learned so many things from there. So let's hope the coming 2 days also will be go like this successfully. Thank you so much.
Dr. Rana,
please. Yesterday, Kana sir.
Dr. Kana.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you so much, and I'm really got a lot of things to say, but Jivanji, can you mute your mic, please?
Yes, I'm muting. Yeah, I'm muted. Okay.
Is it okay? I think that it is still legal. Is it mine or someone's there? It's really high. Okay. Thank you. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir. Yes, it's very nice.
You are audible and visible, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. So I would like to. I don't know this. I want to speak from one device. I'm here now. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Better.
Yes, sir.
You are heard.
We can hear you, sir.
Thank you very much. So I have a lot of words to say at this conference, but can you hear me? Jivan sir, can you take this device away, please? Thank you very much. So I have a lot of words to say at this conference. It's a lot of devices, a lot of echoes here. Sorry. I'm sorry. We wasted a lot of time here because of these devices here. So I would like to thank all the presenters at this conference, and I would like to thank all the delegates from Nepal and abroad as a program chair. So just quickly, I want to say that in the last 3 or 4 months, so every week we didn't say that that's too early cold morning, and we didn't say that we were tired last night, but we've done really great job, and this was probably would not happen without Dr. Edward Valu. So he's a guardian and he's a real chair. So we are enjoying the day here, but actually he has not slept many weeks, many days, many months. So I have no words actually to thank him. Just the words thanks may not be enough for him. So this is really I want to say, and all the scholars who have joined this program, particularly our university MPhil scholars, and who have joined in our program development for last months and months, and then Eduram, Edu Gewaliji, Atmaramji. So they are really legends. So they have spent a lot of time. They never said that, Eduji never said that he was suffering from COVID. He has done, and he's still alive. And I can see that he is legend. And Atmaramji, even if he had, the jobs on and off, and even so going through the family issues. So just last day, I think he had his wife's so he's torn out of her body. So that was the surgical thing. So he was looking after his family. So he was working hard. So I really I don't have enough words to thank all these guys, and particularly those who are the researchers at Nepal Open University. They have done great job, and they have handled. Actually, I was doing just a little bit job to facilitate, but all of you have done great job. And beside these are university faculties from top to bottom, from vice chancellor to the bottom of our colleagues, and they have joined hands, and I would like to thank a lot to them for their cooperation and consistent help. And we have done great job. This was our joint effort. It's not just Rana. So we have done the joint effort. So I'm coming on the face, but actually this is not only me. So we've got so many friends here with us at the university. So this is particularly Faculty of Social Sciences and Education. So I have many things to say, but I would like to thank, but I can't thank is not enough for this all. So I would like to say this much now. Over to you, Dr. Edward Valu.
You are muted, Dr.
Valu, you are mute.
How am I now? I've been working so hard, I forgot what to do. This is a very sad moment in a lot of ways for all of us who've been working together for the last 3 months. Names that come to mind: Atram, Yadu, Babita, Angela, Ruma, Jivan, Kana, so many others that I was given a blessing to have an opportunity to work with such distinguished fellows. These are distinguished colleagues. The world needs to know that these ladies and these gentlemen put together a phenomenal conference. I can tell you that the people that I talked to were all very impressed. They were very impressed with the moderators, so don't forget the work that we did. Everyone was very impressed. I think some of you received communication from some of the panelists already because of the impressive work that you did. The attention that was paid to the program. Can somebody put them on mute? The attention that was paid to the attention that was paid to the cultural aspect of the program, nothing like that has ever been done before. This is the first that's not going to work. The people who are on the line right now, who are making all that noise, get off the line. This is a very important moment and a very important time. If you are with your children, please put your children on mute, because this is a very important time for the people who work very hard for this conference. And so we should have the honor and the pleasure
Dr. Bhalu, once you are mute again, Dr. Bhalu.
Dr. Bhalu, you are muted.
Oh, okay, how am I now? So what did you hear? I want to thank all of the individuals. I named you already. Particularly want to thank Dr. Wright for the cultural connections that he made with Nepal. No one that I know of in a virtual conference has ever done that before. Nepal Open University is the first university to ever integrate a cultural connection within their conference, within a virtual conference. This was the first time. That was because of the program committee. The conference chairs, the conference committee members said, let's do this. What we learned in all of this is that together we can make a difference. This team that came together, this is the model for success in any educational institution, in any program development, in any service development. It means that we must respect the leader, we must respect our own intelligence, we must respect our ability to get things done, and push and push and push, and do not accept people who are lazy, people who are not going to work, put them on the side and keep moving. I should tell you that there were more than, in terms of looking at the participants, there were more than 5,000 participants in your conference. How do I know that? If you go through each one, and I went through all the sessions, as many as I could. If you go through the session, you will see how many participants were in the sessions. Within the sessions, there were like anywhere from 70 to 85 participants in those sessions. There may be duplicates, but there were 5,000 of them about, and I'm just approximating that. So you should be very proud of the conference that you developed on a national scene, on an international scene. So we want to thank our international listeners. We want to thank our national listeners for their participation in the conference. Let me talk about a few things to wrap the conference up. The questions and responses and the PowerPoints reveal the following for our theme, Shaping a Humane World, Global Perspective on Higher Education. Here are the challenges, and there are many. Leadership, funding, program innovation, and policy frameworks are the main challenges that we're facing in higher education nationally and internationally. That's one of the main things that came out. There are opportunities, i.e. new beginning. COVID-19 has demonstrated that we are in a new beginning. No one alive today, 100 years old, would have imagined we'd be in this COVID era. But what COVID has done is to create a new opportunity for you young scholars, for you middle-aged scholars, and for you older scholars and older administrators. The torch has to be passed to the women, to the young men. The time is coming when you will have to say, I am retiring. The young ones are the ones who are going to inherit the mantle. If we teach them, we provide them with staff development, we provide them with opportunities to grow and develop, then the development of Nepal's higher education system will be in much better shape than it is now. If we learn from the elders, learn what to do from the elders, and learn what not to do from the elders, because we don't all get it right. We're all doing the best that we can. We learned that teaching modalities are going to have to change. Faculty members who are entrenched in this is the way I do it, this is my classroom, you cannot continue that model. There are new students coming in with new ideas, new expectations, new desires, new interests. And we're going to have to personalize our educational system to meet their interests and to meet their needs. We cannot do that with this old idea of this is the way we do it, this is how Nepal does it. That will not work. The identification of the new population. The challenges that were addressed today has to do with fairness and equity. All of you know I spent time in Nepal. I understand the poverty in Nepal, but I also understand the riches of Nepal. Diversity is not just a matter of, oh, here are these poor hill people and we should do something for them. When you do something for those who are not developed, you're doing something for the country. Why? Because they are the replacement. If you do not educate the undereducated, you cannot depend on the educated to carry the country because there are not enough of you. There are not enough of the elitists. There are not enough of the ones with money. There are not enough of the ones with status and opportunities. There's just not enough. There are more of those without than there are those with. And the ones who are going to inherit Nepal are the ones who without. So it is in the best interest of the United States and the world in general to train and educate the underprivileged, to train and educate the undeveloped communities, because those are the communities that are going to be developing. Diversity is not just a word. Diversity is an ingrained concept designed to move all of us with humanity, all of us concerned for each other. This little committee, this little conference group that we put together, we laughed, we talked, we danced from the best way we could. We laughed at each other and we laughed with each other. And then when it came down to developing this conference, we got serious. It's the same kind of thing that we're going to have to do with our communities in general. What are some of the strategies? Some of those strategies include empowering the faculty, and that is to the development of strong staff development programs. We're going to implement, we have to implement technology across the board. That's hard to do, but technology that applies to everything that we do, registering, offering courses, developing curriculum. We cannot do it without technology. We also have to create policies that are meaningful, policies that you can evaluate, policies that you can hold people accountable for. The Minister of Education, the governor, yes, they hold these positions, but they are human beings with responsibility for the development of the community. I, as a former college president, can tell you that my responsibility was to the community and to the students of the community. And that is the same thing that we would expect of all leaders in higher education, all the way from the faculty up to the highest administration. We have to develop programs that make sense, not programs that feel good programs because that's what I want to do. We are servant leaders. Servant leaders have a responsibility for the people that they serve. That is what this conference was all about. How can we use our talents and our skills to develop our community, to develop each other, to become better at what we do? We have to evaluate the measures that we put in place, not because they're good, feel-good things, but what difference do they make? If you have policies and procedures that's not impacting the people that you intend to impact, what good does it make? What good is it? There's no good to that. What should we be doing as individuals? We must heighten our awareness. We must challenge the status quo. And let me tell you, all of you, those who are national and international, it's not easy being a change agent. And you heard that word throughout. Policymakers must develop policies that make sense. We must remove barriers, individually and collectively. We must employ collective action in order to make a difference. Technology is only part of the answer. The real answer, the real solution is among the faculty and the staff, the communities, the business community, the international community. All of you, all of me, all of us have that challenge. When you were listening to the speakers today, nationally and internationally, in one way or another, what we presented in those 6 themes were addressed not just for Nepal, internationally, because the United States has so many problems. They're not the model. Contrary to popular thought, the United States of America is not the model. There are many models, many good things happening in Nepal. I looked at your research among your young scholars. Pay attention to what they're writing about. Pay attention to what they're researching on. They're doing some phenomenal things with those young scholars. So when you look, let me close by, I think it was one person who said this, John Dewey, and I'll close with this. If we teach today as we taught yesterday, we rob our children of tomorrow. I'll say it again. If we teach today as we taught yesterday, we rob our children of tomorrow. And that was said by John Dewey 100 years ago. So my distinguished colleagues, brothers and sisters, and friends, I have been honored beyond your imagination to have an opportunity to work with each and every one of you and to learn from each and every one of you. I'm a better person today. I'm better educated today because of you. And for that, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I close with the fact of either namaste or namaskar. Either one. Thank you very much for the opportunity to serve. Please let us not be strangers. I hope to see you all again. We will be meeting on Thursday in order to do a formal wrap up in terms of the next step of this conference, and that has to do with creating a website to answer the questions that were presented by the people who gave us their time and energy. We cannot let them down. We must answer their questions, and we must develop a platform for them to access the answers. So to all of the moderators, all of the presenters, all of you behind the scene, on the scene, in the scene, thank you for doing an outstanding job. Thank you for letting the nation know, letting the world know that Nepal is here, real, and alive. Namaste, namaskar, and now I am going to bed.
Thank you so much. In-depth.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Dr. Velu.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, all of you.
Goodbye and see you tomorrow 10 a.m.
Goodbye. Is 10 a.m. Nepal time? Is the
Yes, so 10 a.m. Nepal time tomorrow.
Tomorrow, so what's the time Noam Chomsky will be giving presentation?
Noam Chomsky is the day after tomorrow, 5:45 a.m. to 8:45 a.m. Nepal time.
Yes,
the day after tomorrow.
Yeah. Yes.
The day after tomorrow. Okay. 5.
Okay.
That is 5 in the evening or 5 in the morning?
5:45 a.m. Nepal time, sir, morning.
Okay. I'll try. I'll try my best to wake.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.